Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there, so you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on other tier, if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. This episode is ad-free on the Patreon. So if you want to partake in that, you can head on over to patreon.com/realityt times 2. Welcome to Reality T times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we're going to be doing the first episode. We will be getting to the other ones of 90 Day OG. So before we get into it, I just want to say this. I know this is going to be a tough one. Jenny of Submit, just announced that she has ALS. I don't know if this is what she's been dealing with the entire time, if they just, well, she's probably been dealing with this the entire time. If they knew this, I guess I should say, the entire time, and just kept it under wraps, which is, understandable. Or if she did have a stroke and then, during the investigations, they found this out. But it, from my understanding, it appears that it's fast moving. But this is definitely going to be pretty tough to talk about them during Last Resort. I already thought it was going to be tough, just under the impression that she had a stroke. To talk about them, I get why they're on the show for, if they need the money for her medical expenses, and I get it, but I just feel like they never should have been on the show. Um, Lord, it's going to be a tough one to talk about. Obviously, I'm not going to not once we get onto that, which will be, I believe, next week. But yeah, I'm not going to be making fun of her. I'm just not. And again, when time comes and I do talk about the past episodes, of their journey, which won't be anytime soon, and I don't know where she'll be at in terms of this disease by then, but um we'll tackle that when I get to it, and I'll see how I feel. But yeah, we will take it day by day. But um yeah. And we've already got another freaking spoiler before the show even started. But Thais and Patrick are going through a divorce. Ain't that some shit? So I guess we'll see how this turned out with Last Resort and maybe what was the demise of their relationship. But for anyone who has watched Diaries, you kind of know that he does have this weird expectation of having sex every day, and if not, then she's cheating on him. We'll see how this goes. The sucky, not the sucky part, but the grosser part of all of this is he is fighting for sole custody of Elise, and it does appear that she was arrested for battery. I don't know if I don't know the context, but this is gonna suck. So we'll see how that goes too when we start talking about that. But enough of the heavy shit. Let's just move on to the reason that we are here, and that is to talk about what are we on? Season 12 or some shit of 90 Day OG. And let's start with Marissa. So we're getting a little crossover with this one. She is 45 years old and she is the Chief Operating Officer VP. That's a long ass title of Kleinfeld's. Now, if no one knows what Kleinfeld is, I would like to direct you to a little show that is also on TLC called Say Yes to the Dress. That Kleinfeld's. This is cool. Um, I I saw some familiar faces from watching the show. Didn't see my Randy, but that's okay. He would have stolen the show. It's fine. I love Randy, but anyways, that is okay. But yeah, this is what she is. She works at the Kleinfelds. We actually have a Kleinfelds here in Toronto as well. Um, used to be for those who live in Toronto and you understand. And I would assume it's still there despite the fact that the bay is now gone. But we over here in good old Canada have had say had a department store called um the Bay or the Hudson's Bay. And it goes back at least to the 1800s. I think even further back if I'm correct. Canadian history, it is what it is. But it just closed down last year because they got too freaking expensive, okay, and lost sight of what they are really truly about. But you can still get the Hudson's Bay stripes, and if you know, you know. And also, if you watched, um, what was that one there? Um, Milf Manor. Yeah, they actually had the stripes on the second season. The scarf, the cups, all that. Stripes, the Hudson Bay stripes. You can still get them at Canadian Tire if you're interested. Anyways, so they used to be in the Toronto location, the downtown Toronto location in Kleinfeld. I'm going to assume, like I said, they're still there. Um, but they were up on the seventh floor of the Hudson Bay location. I hope they're still there. You would see people going in there, periodically. But yeah, cool. Big deal. Let's move on. She was married for about 6 years and then she did get divorced. They had two children, two boys. Then she says, one day I took a trip to the DR. Of course you did. And there she met Edward, who worked in the entertainment department. Yeah, of the hotel that she was staying in. Huh, heard this one before, like a million times. It's, tale as old as time. Great. It's one of those. She didn't see him for another 3 years after that, though. And she then went to Punta Cana, completely different place than where she went to before in the DR. And she texted him And he's like, oh my God, I lost your number. I tried to find you. I couldn't find you. Like, really? Okay. Um, and then they were long distance for about 2 years after that. We then see her having her say yes to the dress moment. But her dress, absolutely gorgeous. Perfect pick. This woman knows what she's doing. It was perfect for her. So then we find out, y'all, that he decided to have an adult circumcision because he wanted to be more American, sir. I know America is a little bit more of a melting pot, like here, good old Canada. And I feel like that it depends on the person, you know? Because again, there are certain cultures that, yes, are going to circumcise their their children. Hell, even in like Africa, it's a hit or miss of where, you know, a country is going to land in terms of circumcision, right? So I don't know where he's getting this. I don't, I really don't know where he's getting this. I feel like it depends, right? Personally, for me, don't give a shit. I I really don't. I don't. Why should I? Um, my man is uncircumcised. Like my ex was also uncircumcised. Who cares? I have been with men, yes, that were circumcised, but it is true what they say. It's just a little different with a man who is uncircumcised. It truly is. Th- The nerve endings. I've never had a problem with a man who is uncircumcised in terms of performing. I have though with men who are circumcised. I'm just saying, why take away something that's good because he wants to fit into American? They're not going to see your dick. Who cares? Unless someone told him this is what Americans do. They chop their penis. I don't know because she does say I never said anything to him. However, she says that she is happy that he did it. Okay, ma'am. So you told him. You literally told him to go and get his penis circumcised. Why? Because you prefer. So what? If you okay, I'm gonna go off. I would never tell my boyfriend because I have a preference, which I don't. I used to. And I'm my ex-husband and I'm like, whatever, I don't care anymore. I'm used to this. Um, actually I prefer it now to be totally honest. It's a man at the third size. But I I would just never tell a man, oh yeah, this is my preference, so please go and do that. The fuck? Absolutely not. And here's the thing, ladies. You can have your preference. That's fine. If it's about the cleanliness or the feel of it, you'll get used to it because the feel of it, I mean, you'll get used to it. Because I also was one that's like, oh no, I prefer a man who's circumcised. And then I started having sex with men that were uncircumcised. Again, my ex, my current boyfriend. I freaking love it. It doesn't change anything for me. And here's the thing, and I said this before in another podcast episode, I'll say it here again. My ex was the reason I could tell the difference between a clean penis that's uncircumcised versus a not so clean one. It is about the fact of if the foreskin moves, you know they're cleaning themselves properly. If it doesn't move, they ain't cleaning themselves properly. Because here's the thing, a man who is uncircumcised and they get hard or they at least have sex, that shit's moving. That shit's moving. My man, I'm going into so much detail right now. Please don't listen. My man, when he gets an erection, you would never know. that he's uncircumcised, but he is. So it's just like, and again, once it's inside you, what's the difference? Please tell me. It all feels the fucking same. So I just don't understand. Okay. Just don't understand. Did he have to pay for this? Because then if he had to pay for this, who would have paid for it? Who did it? The VP of Kleinfeld would have probably done it. I'm just saying. Anyways, let's move on to the next bullet point that I have here. She says, I have a real life issue. She's telling this to one of her friends, one of the familiar faces. She has real life issues. So when he tells her his issues, she's like, those aren't issues, ma'am. Just because you are a VP of Kleinfeld, you have 2 kids, an ex-husband that you may or may not like, doesn't mean that your problems are more important than somebody else's problems. Do you want to know what probably his fucking problems are? Let me tell you probably at least one of his fucking problems. One of his problems is that the fact that he probably lives somewhere under the goddamn poverty line in the DR. His parents, his family probably depend on him to make money so that they can fucking survive. You want to talk about problems and comparing said problems? Ma'am, you are middle class. You at least know where your next meal is going to come from and your children the next meal is going to come from. You could probably afford to buy them clothes and yourself clothes on a monthly goddamn basis. Meanwhile, you know what I mean? Bitch, I want to like you. Please don't make me not like you. We'll see how this goes. But stop pretending as if you're literally telling people my problems are more important than your problems. No, fuck you. I have problems too. He has problems as well. Everyone has their own goddamn problems. Don't diminish his problems because they're not looking like yours, dumbass. Anyways, um, she says, I have more at stake, which I can understand you saying I have more at stake. I understand that. You are the one that has children involved in this situation. I totally understand her saying she has more at stake, but that doesn't mean that he has less problems. She says, I don't need a man. I want the man. Okay, fine. Get it. We see her video calling with Edward. She's worried that he doesn't have life experiences, I guess, the same way that she does. Again, you made a decision. No one told you to be with this guy. You're with this guy because he has great dick, probably. And that's why you're with him. But then don't complain that when you're not getting dick down by him, that he doesn't share the same life experiences as you. Like, what? For example, she says, when we stayed in a hotel, it was his first time he had ever stayed in one as a guest. Just vast differences. So let me get this straight. You are taking the fact that his quote unquote life experiences is that he's never stayed or had the luxury of staying in a hotel room. Again, he is not in the same freaking financial bracket as you are. You have the privilege to travel here, there, and every fucking where to, experience that. He may not have that. Is that his fault or is that the life that he's been dealt? The fact that she literally said that, life experiences, for example, are you kidding me? Like you would think that she maybe would say, oh, he's never been married before. Oh, he doesn't have children. Oh, this, that, or something else. Something like that. It's the fact that he's never stayed in a hotel room before. Okay. So during the call, she says, so how's your penis doing? He's not worried about that. He's fine. The penis is fine. Although he did have to have it restitched because the stitches fell out. But it's fine. What he is worried about, however, is Michael. Michael is the ex-husband and the father of the children, obviously. He's going to be very tough. She says she's never brought a man into her parenting relationship before, so this is also going to be a new experience. He'll probably meet him soon and just have a conversation. Set your boundaries with each other. Actually have that conversation. Don't let him get to you kind of thing, which is fine. Anyways, y'all, that is, what's her name again? What did I say her name is again? I don't freaking remember people's names right now. Okay, yeah, that's Marissa. Let's move on to Mallorie. So she's 29. She's from Athens, Alabama. How would you describe yourself? The producers ask her. She says, and I quote, a basic bitch. Okay. She's currently in Turkey because I think he did get his K1. She's there with him to bring him back to the States with her. So, yeah. Evans is a little bit more redneck, you would say. Actually, it's a lot of bit of redneck, she says. Great. Her fiance's name is Rasit. She can't see it, so she usually just calls him Raz or Rash. What do you call? Anyways, she does what she calls him because she can't say Rasit. It's real easy. But anyway, we kind of start to meet him here. He is a captain of a boat, y'all. She had gone to Greece a few years earlier, and that is how she met him. They ended up having sex. She thought it would just be like a, one night stand type situation. But that, of course, was not the case. He is going to, when she gets to the boat, he's like, let's reenact the Titanic. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to do it. But yes, he wants to reenact the Titanic, not the sinking part. We do need to put that part out there. We're not gonna be like, which she just wants to do like the Jack, I'm flying, Jack. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to do the come back. He doesn't want to do that part. So yeah. Let's move on. So he is very sad about leaving Turkey. This is his home, obviously. He doesn't want to leave. And it's beautiful. Why in the Lord's Jesus would you want to move from that beautiful place to freaking Athens, Alabama, where she says it's redneck central? And I believe Alabama is also landlocked. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. But anyways, that's what's happening. The company she has are people, she also says, favors the deportations. So what you're trying to tell me is that they're MAGA. Listen here, TLC. I don't want to watch you guys and then also have to deal with the real life situations. I already stress about that. Okay? I don't want to now hear people say, well, all of the shit that's happened is deserved. I don't want to fucking hear it because people have been losing their goddamn lives because of it. Fuck everybody. I don't want to hear it, but that's what we're going to have to be dealing with because we are in Redneck Central. And I guess, unfortunately, we are now learning that I guess most rednecks are also MAGA. Great. This is lovely. Anyways, maybe they're not MAGA, but they are Trump supporters. You know what? We will cross that bridge when we get to it because no fucking thank you. Anyways, let's move on to, I think it's Aisha. Yeah, Aisha. 38 years old. She lives in Alabama, y'all. She's also Pentecostal. And here's a little story that she tells us. At the age of 12, she heard the Holy Spirit tell her in a store that an NSYNC song was going to be coming on. And wouldn't you know what it did? You want to know something? She was around my age, right? She's about 3 years older than me. So that was in a time of the 90s, okay? During a time where NSYNC was so freaking popular that every other song was Bye 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 or It's Gonna Be Me, okay? Every other song. Tell me you don't know. If you know, if you were around during that time, you agree with me. You know it's true. Every other song, okay? Every hour on the hour, they would play Bye 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 or It's Gonna Be Me. It- it- they still do, okay? Are you serious? In sync? You couldn't even say Celine Dion or somebody else. In sync? Yeah, they were one of the most popular people at the time. And that was not the Holy Spirit, honey. That was your brain literally saying, I wonder if NSYNC is going to start playing now. And then they do, because hello, if that's the case, let me tell you right now, if that's the case, because I've had that happen to me plenty of fucking times where I'm like, oh, this song's gonna start playing, and it does. I guess it's the Holy Spirit. I guess it is. I guess it's the Holy fucking Spirit. I should start being crazy. Like, I just, when she said in sync, I'm like, okay, so it was the 90s and in sync played all the time. Bye 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 was one of the most popular songs at the time. Still is. It's one of my favorites. Like, it got resurgence. Even more because of Deadpool, a few years ago. So it's just like, are you serious? Of all of the groups or people you could have named, there are so many people in the 90s that this one could have named. Okay? Any other person. I'm sorry, but as soon as you're going to mention NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, yeah, they're on a heavy fucking rotation. It's, I, she's insane. She's insane. Um, and now she's a prophet, y'all. She's a prophetess. Okay. We see her speaking in tongues. She says it's a heavenly language. Is it? Is it? Because, no offense, in like Harry Potter world, the snakes are seen as bad. They're literally on the Slytherin, like, logo shield. You know what I mean? And they're, everyone hates the Slytherins because evil. You know what I mean? And we're gonna say speaking in tongues is heavenly? Uh, question: didn't Satan appear to Eve in the garden as a goddamn serpent? But speaking in tongues is a heavenly language? I don't know about that, man. I think you may be wrong. I have been to a Pentecostal church. Maybe we do things here differently in Canada. I don't know. But I've been to a Pentecostal church. I absolutely loved it. We were not speaking in damn tongues. Let me tell you. No, it it ain't right. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, heavenly language, sure. God can understand, but the devil can't. Again, I think I just kind of said, wait a minute. So let's move on. Lord, oh, when are you going to bring my husband? Where is my husband? But she says, Lord, where's my husband? He told me my husband is coming. Did he? Can I just say this before we continue? I need to say this. God is fucking busy. Why do you think God is spending all of his time in an 8-hour day? Because I would like to think that he does shift work and he gets to have a break or a vacation every once in a while. He gets to clock in some PTO or, every little bit. But anyways, why do you think he has time for you? Why are you so damn special that God is putting all of his energy into you and to no one fucking else? Because shit, you seem to be a full day. Like he has files and you're the biggest file. So he has to spend all of it on you according to you. It's just ridiculous. Narcissism at its goddamn finest. I love to see a narcissist who uses religion on their side. It's great. It's perfect. God damn it. So in 2023, she got a TikTok thing, TikTok, whatever, saying, here comes the bride. But she was no bride at that point. He is not close though, okay? This is what God told her. Here's your sign. He is not close to you though. He is abroad. Not even just abroad. He's in Nigeria, baby. Oh, so God literally told you, here's your husband. He's in Nigeria. Go forth and conquer. What? Where's free will? I feel like you no longer have free will anymore. It feels like this is arranged by Jesus Christ the Almighty. What? Okay. All right, so his name, he's Nigerian, is Maxwell. He's 28. She's 38. Let's remember that. He loves his um sorry, loves his nose the most. Why? Why do you love his nose the most? There's so many parts of the body that you can like, and it's the nose. Okay. Not even like his arms, his hands, he got strong hands, his nose. You know what? I feel like that might be something. I wonder if, listen, it's the religion ones you gotta look out for. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, he speaks the language of Asia. Damn, good for him. He literally created this man for me. God literally created this man for me. So he's just creating men now? I could have asked, I could have put in a request. Like, what? Okay. So her friend actually went to Nigeria with her to ask this shit. She was actually going to meet his friend Silas. That's a name. But yes, I was going to meet this guy named Silas, who is best friends with Maxwell. So now they are best friends in love with best friends. Oh, okay. This is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So then Silas, proposed to the friend, and then Maxwell proposed to her the next day. This is gonna be fine, y'all. It's gonna be fine. Because now we are engaged to best friends. Best friends now engaged to best friends. So now we see her in church. Okay, ready? I want you all to pray because my fiancé has this interview tomorrow. I have better fucking things to pray about than your goddamn fiancé's interview. Let me continue. So let's sing because I have a song in my heart. I don't even know what the fuck. This is not a song that's in the hymn book. I don't know what in the Lord happened here. Okay. This was no, I am a friend of God, or my God is an awesome God. I don't know what the hell this was. This was, I don't know, something. But anyways, both the best friends have their interviews at the same time. Hi. Hey, bad fucking idea. You guys should have spaced out your K1 visa. Rock, paper, scissors that shit if you needed to, okay? You don't have both of these people coming in at the same time, and you for sure don't show pictures that are together because that's the problem. That's the goddamn problem. You guys could have been separate, okay? Not even, you don't know. Or if you wanted to show pictures with each other, you had to space that shit out. Or you need to take pictures separately, not together. You guys are stupid. Every one of you. Okay. And if you have God on your side, what could go wrong? What could go wrong, y'all? Oh, I'll tell you what could go wrong. Let's continue. I mean, these people are doing what I believe is a Bible study. It's real different. Not one that I've been to, because she is speaking in tongues, I think. Or, yeah, she's speaking in tongues. And then all you hear go is the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, what? What? Speaking in tongues and shit. And I'm just like, the blood? Seriously, it made me literally think, is she seeing someone with, like, who's bleeding? Is this like a Annie, are you okay kind of situation? Like, because that's what I picture. I kid you not. When he's talking about how, he came in with what did he say? Came in with a Christian, no, Annie. You ran into your apartment. Even left the blood stains on the carpet. The blood, the blood, the blood. That's literally what I was thinking. Oh, there's blood everywhere. But I think she's talking about like the holy blood, like the blood, like here, drink my blood type situation, which is um, uh, okay. All right, let's continue. So we find out that Maxwell had his interview and he got approved. Okay, but then the friend had to have his interview next. Okay. But before all that shit landed, he did have the proof and all of that, that everything went good, but then he had to hang up because some shit was going down. Because then he got denied because the friend went in after him, and the same officer who interviewed Maxwell was like, "Wait a second, you two know each other? You two are with the same person, or the two like you put two different friends? Denied. You're both fucking denied. And not only that, you're banned. You're not even coming to the States. Fuck it." Yeah, could have told you that was gonna happen because they're gonna think this is a scam, and you're not like you're in a different African country. This is Nigeria. You need to make sure that you stay close. You mm-mm, mm-mm. You should space it a week spaced out, and it would have delayed a week. Okay, at least maybe you would have gotten a different officer. You know what I mean? It would have delayed it a week, and you guys then can still travel together if you so choose. Like, what the hell? You guys are stupid. So yes, basically, when the friend had his interview, the officer saw that there was the same photos. You see what I mean? You can't take pictures together when you're both applying for a K1 visa. You need to take separate pictures. Oh my God. So, and thought that this was fraud. I would also think this was fraud. And not only is this fraud, but now he's going, like I said, ban them from the United States. She's like, I had God on my side. I was not expecting this. Like I said, bitch, in the beginning, God's busy. God has shit to do. When God saw you guys using the same goddamn photos, he's like, well, I'm out. Really? God ain't here. God is busy. God don't got time for stupid. Are you serious? I have God on my side, but you two stupid women couldn't realize, hey, maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe we shouldn't use the same fucking pictures. You can literally edit pictures. You can edit pictures on your fucking phone to take someone out of a picture. You can literally you could literally do that and it will still look like it's real. I don't understand what is happening. She's like, I don't know how the devil, uh, created or got gave him a visa and then took it back. It wasn't the devil. It was a man who had in his right mind to say, "This some shit." That's what happened. That wasn't the devil. Don't blame the devil for you're stupid. Don't bring the devil into this. So she told him to not leave and explain the situation. Do you think that's going to make a difference? Hey, officer, so let me explain. I want my girl to bring a friend for my friend. Okay? They fell in love. And then he had proposed, and then I proposed. And see, just for that reason, because he proposed last, honey bunny, you had to wait a week. That's how this goes. You know what I mean? Could have rock, paper, scissoring. So, but what I do know is he's not going to leave without that visa. The fuck yes, he is. Okay. So he calls her and said he's no longer banned from the United States. Great, we have something, but you can do a spousal visa. Basically, the K1 visa is not going to be happening. It's not happening. And she's like, I don't accept that. Oh, fucking well. You better accept it. This is it. This is what's happening. Dumbass. She's like, it takes longer, which is true. Spousal visa does take longer, which always boggles my mind that the spousal visa would take longer because I thought, doing like these types of visas is all about family unification. You're not even married when you have a K1. You're just fiancés at that point. Why is the spousal visa take longer than the K1? I just have questions. But anyways, and she's like, we can't appeal. Like that's not an option. He said he didn't ask. So more on that. It's like the next episode. Um, so she is going to go to a lawyer to figure all that out. She's like, I'm going to do everything in my power to get Maxwell here as long as it's in the will of God. I wonder if this is no longer in the will of God. Like, here's your sign and you're still not hearing it. Huh? Ain't that some shit? Because if I was like a godly person or one of those kind of people who take signs seriously like this was your sign and you're ignoring it. Ain't that weird? Ain't that something? Anyways, that's it for Aisha, that crazy bitch. Um, so yeah, we're gonna take a quick break here, and when we come back, we will jump in with Shea. Hi everyone. So I have a new product for you to partake in. One that I'm going to share with you, and that is Be Believe. So we believe in the power of playful learning. So dive into the world of wonder with Be Believe's rich collection of animations, catchy songs, playful coloring pages, hands-on activity sheets, and engaging ebooks. Each element is thoughtfully crafted to captivate young minds while reinforcing positive behaviors in a fun and meaningful way. Whether your little one is watching a magical adventure, singing along, coloring their favorite character, or reading an enchanting tale, every moment is packed with joy, learning, and imagination. So if you go to our unique code, or link, in order to not only support Be Believe, but also support the podcast, you can head to be-believe.com/reality2. So that's www.believe.com/reality2. So that is REALITEATWO. And the link is also in the show notes where you can also link to that. So head on over to Be Believe with our unique code link, and you can unleash good behavior through enchanting tales, where imagination and good behavior unite. Thank you, Be Believe, for supporting this podcast. Now, back to the show. And I'm back. So let's jump in with Shea. So he's 54 years old, looks like he's about 74 years old, and living in Kentucky. He says if you live in his town, which I can't remember the name of the town, you probably know him. He's gotten a beer with him or whatever. So women are just naturally drawn to him. And we learn about his fiancé, Anabelle. She's also 54. And she looks younger than him, a lot younger than him. She's from the Philippines. They met through his friend Greg, who actually spends half of the year in the Philippines with his wife. And his wife is best friends with Anabelle. So that's how they met. So Anabelle, she has a scrubbing fetish, y'all. She has a scrubbing fetish or scrubbing addiction, and she likes to cut toenails. We'll talk about that more in the second episode because I can't right now. He likes to party, just like the song. He likes to party. Yeah, okay. Sometimes things can get a little out of hand based on what other people think. Then we meet his friend Stephanie. Guys, if you haven't heard, trigger warning for domestic abuse, loss of life, all of that. Her ex-boyfriend murdered her. He apparently was like stalking her, and it just, again, tales all the time when it comes to these stupid men. He probably should be on like worst ex ever kind of situation. Yeah, that's just so sad. And that didn't come out until after this episode aired. So it's not like we knew before, whatever, obviously. But that's really, really sad. I feel for her family. Ugh, it's horrible. He is worried that people are going to talk because this is a small town. He might have done a thing or two. We'll get to it. So he's been married twice. He has three kids: Hunter, Abigail, and Allison. His youngest child is Madison. Well, wait, hold on. Did I say Madison? Is it Allison that's the youngest? No, 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 no. He has three girls. He has an older boy, and then he has four kids. So three kids from one marriage, one from another. And that's Madison. Okay. He has been buying clothes for Annabelle, and his daughters are here to kind of analyze them to see if, they fit in today's fashion. Allison lives next door, so she has many perks of living next door to her father. They will go out, just the two of them. They'll go to parties like at the lake, just like, together. Um, and that could be awkward. And he says, well, she'll just come with us. But Allison clearly doesn't want that all the time. She didn't say never. She said, she also wants to have, daddy daughter time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Um, so yeah, he doesn't want there to be any issues before she even gets there. So he's basically telling her, cool your shit. Let's calm down. The dogs randomly start barking, and we're like, why are they barking? Oh, might be Nicole. Who's Nicole? Oh, we'll find out who Nicole is in a second. But his daughter, Allison here, she's like, why is she here? Nicole is the second ex-wife and mother of Madison. So he answers the door, and she off the bat is like, so I guess the rumors are true. Anabelle is coming? Yeah. Why? You guys aren't together. Like, are you jealous? And she says, because you can see Allison's there. And she's like, can I talk to you alone for a minute? And he says that she does have dirt on him, which is interesting. He admits she has dirt on me. Then when she kind of lays it all out there, he wants to get mad about it. You know what I mean? Anyways, she says, I am going to talk to her. There's no way around that. Oh, isn't there? Though? Their marriage, Nicole and Shea's marriage, only lasted for 4 weeks. When in said 4 weeks did you make a child? The child must have been there before. Hey, it's just 4 weeks. Wow. Damn. Um, she needs to know what I think about Angie. Who's Angie? There's a lot going on here. So she is the daughter of a good friend of his who is saying something happened, but he says no, it didn't happen. They just go out sometimes. They're just friends. I'm sorry. That's highly inappropriate. She may be an adult, but you saw her growing up, I'm going to assume. She's a friend, she's a daughter of one of your friends. It is highly inappropriate that you two are just going out and you guys are best of friends or some shit. It's weird. I have to agree with Nicole. That's some weird shit. Anyways, she tells us that he was talking to Anabelle while he was married to her. We need to see the receipts on that. When she calls, like, he will move the phone away so that she can't see anyone, including Nicole, if she's there. Because they do hang out, no. They hang out. He says, I may pat you on the butt or flirt when I drink, but like, that's it. Sir, why are you touching her butt? Why are you touching her butt? And why are you flirting with her? She's your ex-wife and mother of your child. What the fuck? This town needs some help. But then she says that we slept in the same bed and she called and I answered. They had apparently gone to like a concert. So wait, you can't get your own room? You have to sleep in the same bed with your ex-wife? Again, what is going on? Annabelle was pissed naturally and would not talk to him for a while. Cool. He believes that she was just being vindictive that night. Like Nicole was being vindictive that night. Sir, you're the one who slept in her bed. Who's the one being vindictive here? They said I will be, or she says I will be talking to her. Well, not here. I don't want you back here. There's a trespassing sign, so I think you should go. So she does leave, but if you can't like hide her in your house the entire time, eventually, and it's a small goddamn town, all she needs to do is tell somebody, hey, I want to talk to her. If you see her, tell me. That's all it takes. This guy's an idiot. Like he clearly blurs the lines. Anyways, that is Shea. Let's move on to the last person. This bundle of goddamn joy, Catie with a C. This girl is a drunk. She's 26 from Portland, Oregon. She's been traveling a lot. She definitely had her hoe phase. Honey, you're still in it. She traveled because she is a little impulsive. That's an understatement of the century. Josh is her fiance. He's a bit reserved. She has OCD. Hmm. Okay, I don't know much about much. I know everyone's experience with OCD is very different than the next one. I have an aunt that has OCD, and I have never heard her say, oh, let me kiss random people in the club. You know what I mean? You have impulsive thoughts for sure, but this is a new one. If I swear, if there's anyone out there who has OCD and you kiss random people in the club, even if you're in a relationship, I want to talk to you. I need to understand how this works. But anyways, she explains that she was pet sitting in London and she was on Tinder and she matched with a guy named Dave. So she met up with Dave, and Dave's friends were also there, including Josh. Dave got kicked out and she made out with another friend and she wanted to make out with Josh as well. But he said, no, you've been kissing all of my friends. But then he walked her home because that's some creepy guy or something, and they ended up making out. Then he had to pee and she ran away from him. Really weird. But then asked him if he wanted to go to Milan with her. He did. That's when they had sex for the first time. He proposed to her in Turkey. Yeah. Her OCD, as I've already said, makes her make bad decisions. She kisses people. She gets like 2 people a month ago. She's been engaged, y'all. When she gets drunk, she just wants to make out with a bunch of people. I think it's because I just want to be wanted. Get therapy, you crazy bitch. I'm not denying that that is a thought you have in your mind. And I'm also not denying that you have impulsive thoughts of wanting to kiss people. What I am going to say to you, though, is the fact that you're not trying to help yourself by, I don't know, getting therapy or specialized help for your OCD is where I have the problem. Traveling the world isn't going to make your OCD go away. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't travel the world. You have a right to do so, but make sure you have the help that you need in order to make sure that your impulsive thoughts don't become intrusive. Anyways, her last relationship ended badly because of this. So she's learned fucking nothing. She wants to stop, but when I drink, my brain has other plans. Then stop drinking. Or cool it with how much you do drink. That's why I say I think she's a drunk. She has OCD, sure, but she's also a drunk. You you have no control over any part of your life, clearly. So you need to seek out the help you need to get the control of your drinking and your OCD. Maybe they go hand in hand to some degree, fine, but you need to fix it. That'd be like, this is how I am. No. So I don't like her. We're in a storage unit. There's some twin mattresses in here. They have stains, but it's fine. It's her stain, so she's fine with it. That's disgusting. get a new mattress. Ew. She finds random beans, some olive oil. I wouldn't use any of those. She promised to get an apartment for them, but it hasn't happened yet. She's perfectly fine sleeping in the car, but not him. No one really truly is okay sleeping in a car. Um, but some things are tough to do because of how her brain operates. I get it. I will not come hard on her on that. She's making some cake pops, USA themed cake pops. So she got a hotel for them until you know, they get a place, which she has secured. She did sign a lease. She saw pictures, and that's it. She didn't actually physically go to the unit and see it. Okay, sure. That's one way to do it. Her sex life with him has been dull. Not enough of it. Well, honestly, you guys haven't been around each other in a while, so duh, but I hear what she's saying. He seemed, because maybe he's a little bit more reserved, maybe he's a little bit more vanilla than maybe she wants him to be. So just talk to him about it. Have conversations with him about it. But I think, I don't know if she's saying like he doesn't like talking about sex at all, or if it's like because there's cameras, he won't want to talk about it. But if he doesn't even want to have those conversations, I'm sorry, I stand by the fact of if you're willing to do it and you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be willing to talk about it. You know what I mean? You should be able to talk about what you want or what you expect or whatever it is. You should be able to have those conversations. I'm sorry, I don't understand people who are like, I don't like talking about it, but you sure like doing it. Like, what? Anyways, she's the exact opposite. She likes to talk about it. And he's here. We're picking him up already. She's like, this is my fiance, and he's from, say it so I can copy it. Cambridge, England. And she literally repeats it the way he does, like with the accent and everything. Ma'am, you can't say Cambridge? It's one of the easiest places in England to say, besides London, or Manchester, or Notting Hill. Cambridge. Cambridge. We have a Cambridge here in Ontario, right? Do we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we definitely do. Cambridge, Ontario. Yeah, we definitely have a Cambridge, Ontario. Like, what? It's not that hard. Anyways, um, can we make out for 4 minutes? There's the OCD. She can make out for 4 minutes. No, no, you shouldn't have to subject him to your weird, not weird, I'm not gonna say weird, it's like that's your control, but your impulses or your expectations because your OCD expects it. You can't subject him to that. Again, this is what I mean. Try to help yourself. Because that's gonna be a problem too. 4 minutes is way too long if you're not like in a bed or having sex or whatever. So he doesn't like PDA, so that's a problem. Do you want to make out for 4 minutes right now? This is again in the moment. So she has a thing about 4 minutes. That hat was Uncle Sam's hat. She gets the Uncle Sam hat. Not sure who he is. He could be fake. I don't know. Even I know Uncle Sam is fake. Or maybe Uncle Sam is um created off of, an idea of a real person. But the character Uncle Sam is fake. How am I a Canadian? Know that. And you're American and you don't. Anyways, oh, and I got this red lingerie that she just holds up in the middle of the airport that she's gonna wear for him later. Okay, you know he's preserved, and yet you still do things like that. I'm telling y'all, I don't like her at all. She annoys my brain. But that's Catie, y'all. And that's the end of this episode. First episode, fucking fantastic. These bunch of hooligans are great. We don't want real people, or not real people. I should say fake people. We want real ass crazy people on the show, and this is great. This is fantastic. Great casting. Yeah, so I'll be back with another one soon enough. I'm actually recording this on the day the third episode is coming out, but we will be getting those out to you shortly. Until then, though, that is it for me, And that is it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, bear with me because I have not done an outro for the podcast in quite some time. So bear with me here. So if you liked what you heard, you can go to any of your favorite podcast apps. You can follow, make sure you don't miss a single episode. And you can also rate the podcast at either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It'd be greatly appreciated. As a reminder, any 5-star ratings that are given to the podcast or any comments that are given to the podcast will be read on the podcast, which I have done in the past. If you want to connect with the podcast through social media, you can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Reality Tea ×2. You can also find me at Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Reality ×2 Pod. I believe you can email me at realitytea2@hotmail.com, and you can have any inquiries, anything like that, any ideas, any shows or episodes you want me to cover, you can definitely do that over there. And I am going back to our old website, and that is at solo.to/reality tea ×2. There you can get any of the links to anything that I didn't mention here, any of the socials, website, email, all of that. It's all there for you. And we also have a new thing there where you can help support the podcast as well. It's called a tip jar. And you could tip whatever your heart's desire if you want to support the podcast, but don't want to necessarily support the podcast in going to Patreon, for example, or any of the links in any of the advertisements. You can do it there. But since we're on the topic of Patreon, you can head on over to patreon.com/reality tea ×2, where there you can get access to even more than what I do here. There are 3 different tiers where you can get these shows ad free, as well as our next tier up where you would get another reality show that's being covered. So, we have Jersey Shore that's been getting covered. That's still being covered currently at the time of recording of this outro, but the future is bright with what's to come in the future, which I will be discussing, or I have discussed. I don't even know. And then also our next tier is a true crime tier as well. So you can definitely head over for that. But that is basically it. I will also just quickly mention here too, if you're interested in a different take of a podcast that I'm a part of, where we do things a little differently, you can head on over to Next Take Podcast, where I usually drop bonus episodes here on this feed, but there you get a lot more. And that podcast is making changes. We're growing, doing new things, but you can definitely head on over there if you want to just hear a little bit different than what I do over here. So you can find that podcast over at our website, solo.to/next take podcast. And there we'll have all the links to your desire that will link you to any of your favorite podcast apps or YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. Social medias, it's all over there. But of course, you can still find that podcast at any of your favorite podcast apps. But that is it for this episode. We'll see you next time with another episode. Bye, everybody.